How's it going, Reef Builders? Jake Adams here, and sadly, it's actually my last day here in Australia. But wouldn't you know it, I have found myself in Brisbane on the east coast of Australia, and I've got one day, and we've got a whirlwind schedule packed in for this final day here in Australia. So I'm actually at a really awesome shop. I spent a lot of time here last night looking around, and this is a reefer's shop, so packed with corals, packed with lots of great fish, and you can tell that a lot of love goes into this store. This is a Gallery Aquatica, and man, I can't wait to show you what's inside. You know this place is legit because they have, you know, the coral posters and manna shrimp posters here, so let's go inside and show you what it's all about. So this is Gallery Aquatica. That's the name of the store, right?
Yep.
All right, just want to make sure I get that right. I've been going to so many shops lately, I don't want to mess it up. So right when you walk in, you're just like pretty much like overwhelmed with overflowing shelves of products. I don't think I've seen so many products packed into such a small spot, but they are packed to the gills. And it's always a pleasure to walk in and see some of your work. Here's the Blue Facts comic book about blue tangs, produced by Reef Builders and the Colorado Organization for Reef Aquatic Life. Made it all the way here in Australia. So man, we're gonna just take a quick peek at the products we have going on here. Looks like we got some water testing underway. And man, as soon as you walk in, you can tell that this place is just packed with all the accessories that you could possibly ever need for a reef tank, and even a little bit for freshwater aquariums. So once again, the Red Sea line is very well represented. I can't believe they have such huge bulk products available. We've got a lot of different additives and foods right there in the back, and some of the higher end devices, Hydor Performer Protein Skimmer, Deltec, Illumagic Style, and back it up here and see what we have in the cabinet besides some tests. Looks like there's some Hannah checkers, some magnifying glass. See, magnifying glasses are cool, man. These should be in a lot more reef store. And once again, Continuum is definitely dominating the shelves of this and other aquarium fish stores. I've actually been super impressed with the incredible diversity of products and accessories that this store has. They don't have just one glue. They have several types of glue here, from Seachem, from Two Little Fishies, and I'm sure there's some generic ones around the corner somewhere. And moving right along, Two Little Fishies is in the house with a bunch of their better products. Right here, we got the Magfox, Nanomog. But yeah, the point is that this place is just totally packed to the gills with all the different products that you could ever hope to see. And one thing that I really love too is you know, fostering reef aquarium culture, and having beautiful posters such as these from Lemon TYK is a great way to inspire your customers, teach them about new fish and new corals. And once you get past the products, don't worry, there's more products over here in the back, so there's a lot to see. But there's this beautiful display tank right here that has some amazing animals inside. So as usual, we're gonna save the display tank for last because there's a lot of beautiful, juicy things to see in here. But in the meanwhile, we're basically going to hug the side of this end of the store and walk through and take a look. And the first thing you'll notice is that Gallery Aquatica is clearly on another level when it comes to fragging as far as the Australian reef scene is concerned. This no doubt has been helped by their participation in some American style reef shows. There's frags of everything, man. I love these bouquets of the Micromusa lords here on the top with more in the bottom. And there's a huge diversity of frags. What's really cool is they've actually got the pictures and the fun names of the different zoanthids here, so that their customers can kind of learn about different zoanthid strains. And this also stokes the collectoritis that drives the demand for so many of these different zoanthid strains. So let's take a look here. Oh my goodness, look at that huge row of beautiful scolies right there in the back. Very cool. This is what I expect to see in some nicer Australian reef aquarium shops. But look at that spread of zoanthids. Somebody clearly has a zoanthid addiction, and this is only a part of it. This is actually just what's for sale. There's little frag racks just totally posted up everywhere. I think these are the first actual frag racks that I've seen at any store here in Australia. And there's not just a one or two here and there, but they're literally just tucked in all over the place. A lot of different beautiful strains. And I know that they, in Australia, they are also very, very hot for their Recordia yumas. They might not have the abundance of specimens that are available to us from Indonesia, but from what I've seen, they actually have a greater diversity of colors and different morphs. So let's walk on over to this side and take a look as well. So again, just like the store, all the tanks, the coral tanks, are packed to the gills. And there's actually a good amount of water flow going on in these aquariums. I've actually requested the water flow to be turned off just for the sake of the video, so we can get some great top-down shots. And just look at how many different cycloceras. There's you know, a dozen of green, a half a dozen of orange cyclos, and a bunch of Trachyphilias. You can see that this market is definitely struggling with the diversity and quality of Trachyphilias. But at least they have excellent access to the new Micromucilord corals. Very cool. A bunch of Acanthophilias down there. And yeah, we'll take a look over on this side. And there's even more corals, man. This place is totally mackin'. And my love for Gonioporas, for flower pots, has been completely ignited here in Australia. I mean, I've always kind of liked flower pots, but these guys do it on a whole nother level. It sure doesn't hurt that they're able to get these fresh off of the reef with very minimal transit time. And you can see there's a bunch of different clusters. There's like a cluster of red flower pots, a cluster of greenish flower pots. There's even a couple flower pot frags that Anya will be very excited to tell you all about here. And man, really impressive spread of corals. These corals look really, really beautiful. And you know what? It's so nice to see that they're not using T5s, not using metal halides, but they're using some of the best LED lights on the market. And the color of these corals really, really shines through. Oh, look, here's a beautiful little school of Banggai Cardinals here. Are you guys breeding those yet?
We've had 2 batches.
All right, all right. Very cool. So yeah, these are some really, really beautiful and inspiring coral sail display tanks, not even display tanks. And just look at this massive amount of blastomusas they have here. A lot of different colors. I really am liking this one right here that has kind of like the yellow vesicles on its perimeter of its mantle. Really, really beautiful diversity of corals here. And then just a boatload of torch corals. So many corals right here. Every color you can think of, tons of different frags. Did I mention this place has a ton of frags? Man, really, really impressive spread. And man, the Australian reefers have an appreciation for euphyllias that is not quite there in America. This is something I'm seeing in a lot of Australian shops. It's just a huge amount and diversity of, here's just like all the hammers together, here's all the frog spawns, and once again I showed you the torches. So yeah, the selection of euphyllias here in Australia is truly through the roof. And I really like how these are actually priced because you can kind of see what all the prices of the corals are. It's a very attractive way to price the corals, and it's really clear and concise. So now we'll go through the other side, take another look. And again, the corals are all kind of segregated and clustered into different groups. So here's the Montipora section. Looks like we have the Montipora frags right next to it. Man, this place is really, really happening when it comes to coral abundance and diversity. And this is really cool. These are the Mariculture corals from Batavia Coral Farms. These are actually made on the west coast of Australia. It's one of the up-and-coming coral farms here in the country. And I really like the color of these blue stags. It's not totally screaming because they're under the brace right now, but that's okay. And then finally, strangely enough, the acros kind of get placed second fiddle over here in the back corner, and you just won't believe the prices of some of these colonies. $5, $10, $30. Oh my God, you could stock an entire tank for a couple $100s with just the acros that are available here. So one thing I did want to show you is how they filter this tank. Again, the Hydro Performer gets a showing. There's a really, really complete Ketomorpha filter and a nice dedicated biomedia section. One thing that was a little bit puzzling to see is this wet-dry filter that I've been berating Cam about. He's got these wet-dry trickle filters on a variety of the tanks. I'm not sure what he thinks this is helping the tank for. So definitely drop Cam a comment down below if you think he should take these off, because I don't really think they're helping. But it, you know, the tank is no worse for wear, as you can see by the health and vitality of the corals. I just think it's unnecessary. So yeah, really awesome selection of corals here at Galleria Aquatica. Some of the corals are fresh and some of them are cultured. But either way, this is a really, really great place to do your coral shopping. And they also have a really sensible fish selection here in the back. The fish look really happy. They're primarily Australian species. And there's some fish here that I definitely want to bring to your attention. There's a pair of barrier reef clownfish in here, Amphiprion echinidnos. Some of the nicest ones I've ever seen. And interestingly, the female here actually arrived with missing one of her pectoral fins, but I kind of like it when fish are, have some slight defects and they're doing well either way, because they're troopers, they got character. So let's move it along. So a variety of tobies, anthiuses, a real diverse selection of marine fish here. Let's see what else we have. There's all types of cardinal fishes, wrasses. One fish I really, really wanted to share with you guys is this gorgeous high fin blenny here. Never seen this fish until I saw some at Cairns Marine. They're just really interesting fish. The appearance is somewhat like a lawnmower blenny, but the behavior is completely different. I was told that this might be a species of fang blenny, but either way, this fish is full of personality, and I would definitely be interested in picking one up for my home tank. Another fish that really got my attention is this Snooty Rat here. Really gorgeous, inquisitive little dude. I love the Cardinal wrasses. They're just like a Napoleon wrasse. They have just packed with personality, tons of character, and it doesn't hurt that they are beautiful as well. Up here on top, we have a little bit more of the larger, showy fish. And gotta love these lined rabbitfish. These have always been a favorite of mine because they have a ton of blue lines. They're very hardy. They're great algae eaters. And one thing that I had never seen before that Anya showed me is they have a tiny, tiny lined rabbitfish who's barely an inch long. She said that it's grown about twice the size of when they originally got it. So it's like a perfect little algae grazer. And if those were ever captive raised, it'd be a really, really popular fish, both for small tanks and then when they got larger, for the larger aquariums. So these fish are extremely healthy. Everybody's kind of engaging and alert, ready for some food. And yeah, some great fish here at Galleria Aquatica. You could find just about anything you could possibly want in the store. And one thing that is very much tickling my fancy is a variety of frag racks. This is the first shop that I think I've seen frag racks on display, in use, and for sale. And they don't just have one, they have a whole ton of them. So yeah. So there's a ton of little aisles here at Galleria Aquatica, and every nook and cranny is packed with useful products for the reef aquarium. There's a wide diversity of pumps here, and I have to admit I was a little bit sticker shocked by the price of some of these devices. Australian reefers must be really dedicated to invest so much in their reef tanks. And then this is one of the other show tanks here at Galleria Aquatica. I don't know how much of a show tank it is, as more of a stash tank. There's a ton of zoanthids, frag racks, and a lot of beautiful animals in here. If you look really closely, you can see some beautiful Recordia yumas, some juicy discosomas, tons and tons of different zoanthids. What else? There's a really cool kind of like hybrid torch coral here, kind of olive color, semi-branching tentacles. It's actually kind of early in the day, and I'm told that both this torch and this frog spawn will actually fill up their respective spaces and get quite large. This large orange frog spawn, I actually have one at home. Man, I just never get over a nice, beautiful orange frog spawn. That movement and that color, it really, really grabs your attention. Again, on the floor, on the bottom of this tank is just completely littered with a wide variety of coralomorphs. And something you don't see every day is a beautiful fungia tree. These are really cool because it's a field of anthoblasts, anthocoli, and they will actually pop off anthoblasts. What that means is that the corals that pop off can only reproduce sexually, while the corals that are the polyp that's left on the rock can only reproduce asexually. So really cool to see those. It's kind of a giving tree. It's a beautiful interstellar style mushroom here. I remember this was one of the most beautiful, the first really nice discosomas that we started getting from Australia when they opened up for export. And last but not least, is a beautiful orange spotted Samicora that I've taken to calling the Starry Night Samicora. Very, very cool specimen. This tank is lit by the new Ilumagic style LED, and it seems to be given a really good spread and great coloration throughout. And finally, the coup de grace, the feather in their cap, is a beautiful large display tank. This thing is really, really well polished. It's got some beautiful specimens, and there's actually some corals for sale on the bottom, and yeah, just a huge diversity of corals. One thing that really knocked my socks off right when I walked in, this big, beautiful blue squamosa clam. Clams are super awesome, but when you have a large one and it's really healthy, there's always the risk that it could eventually spawn in your aquarium and just completely kill your water quality. Something that I'm told happened in this aquarium several months ago, which resulted in the loss of a wide variety of staghorn corals, unfortunately. But there's still a very respectable population of diverse corals in this aquarium. And again, it seems like a lot of Australian stores have this beautiful gold tip Elegance coral that I wasn't able to find in a field of Elegances at Cairns Marine. So this is a very special strain that I've not really seen outside of Australia, but every fish store, every better aquarium shop in this region seems to have their own show gold torch. I want to take a closer look. Here's the orange Cantharellus I was talking about. We've got a beautiful kind of beach bum style orange Montipora, and just a real crowded cluster of beautiful corals, and yeah, really, really colorful. So we'll move around the other side because there's still quite a lot to see. Another thing that I'm seeing quite a bit here in Australia is a lot of really diverse and beautiful and healthy long tentacle plate. There's got to be something about how short the transit time is from the Australian collectors to the reef shops. These are spiny corals, and I can imagine they incur a lot of damage when they go through a 24 to 48 hour shipping period to the United States. But yeah, Australian reefers are lucky because they have a pretty good ready access to those long tentacle plates. And one thing that's really hard to notice, and I don't think I would have noticed unless it was pointed out to me, is that this heliofungia back here is actually a heliofungia tree. So this one actually spit off its first babies. There appears to be about 5, maybe 7 different polyps, different corallites, and that should continue to regenerate new corallites over time. So very, very. All right, you guys, that's gonna about wrap it up for the tour here of Gallery Aquatica. It's been really a breath of fresh air to see an Australian store kind of take after the American reef scene with tons of frags, plenty of zoanthids, a huge diversity of just basically all the corals that are available to them. Anya and Cam clearly are diehard reefers. They pour their heart into the shop, and it totally shows. It's been absolutely a pleasure to visit the store. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, share it with somebody you know, and subscribe because there's a lot of videos coming out, and can't wait to see what we're going to show you next. So thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys next time.